Hey, what is going on, guys? So for today's video, this is going to be a very special unboxing for a very highly anticipated kit here, the Colada. Obviously, you can tell by the plain white box on this. This is another early sample that I'm getting, so this kit is not out yet, but I got one early there from the manufacturer, so I just wanted to do an unboxing video here for you now. I'll then be live building it over on the USA Gundam TV channel, so check that out, and then I'll be reviewing the kit back here on this channel once it's all built and put together. But I know there's a lot of you guys that are very much looking forward to this kit, as am I, so I just wanted to get this video out here for you guys just to kind of take a look through the content. So obviously this is not how the outside box will look, but I do have the full instructions and runners and everything else in terms of all the contents inside, so let's go ahead and get into it. So on the outside, yes, it's just this plain white box, but one thing I can tell you guys is that it is quite large, albeit not quite as large as I was expecting for this kit. I was expecting the box to actually be kind of even a little bit bigger. It is quite heavy though, that's for sure. Opening this up, and we're greeted to an inner cover here, and inside we've got all of our runners and instructions and other goodies in there we'll get into, but let's take a look at the instructions here first. Here on the front we just got the titling and just sort of a kind of a background image. You can sort of make it out there. Morning Star and Earnestcore Craft logos there on the back side. On the front inside pages here, a couple of things to note. Obviously this is the parts list, and there you can see it's also all in color, which is really nice. And then we get just kind of straight on into the construction, which is also going to be in full color and looks really nice just as far as just the instructions go. Also, I really love the fact that here it shows you all the parts necessary for making this stage. So for the head, it shows you the runners and the part numbers for everything that is going to be necessary. So I really like that. As I've talked about before, this makes it a lot more convenient for me and just the way that I build, because I'll just cut out all these parts first for this entire section and they go into my organizer box. But even if you weren't using an organizer box, like you just wanted to build it one section at a time, you can just cut out all the parts here without having to look through all of the instructions. So it's a pretty efficient way to build, I think. I like that, so I'm glad to see that here in the manual. So we go through the construction of the body, the arms, looks like some of like all the stuff that's like attached on the arms, the legs here. And it looks like by the time we get to the assembly of the full body there, before we get to like the axis spine of the oath, which I think is like part of the backpack there, we're not even halfway through the manual yet. It's another couple pages of weapons and armaments here. Inside we've got an extra set of instructions, which is basically just the instructions for the heavy stand. So we've got that display stand included there as well. Continuing on, we're now halfway through the manual and we're getting to the weapons here. There's just a whole lot in terms of all the weapons, and then also like the different like arrangements that you can do for the weapons. So here's going to show you like kind of how to load everything up. There's just a lot going on with this kit. If you guys are obviously familiar with it, there's a lot of stuff, but here's instructions for turning on the LEDs. They have like certain steps for doing that, and I'll have to make sure that I have batteries on hand to be able to put into those LEDs so we can see how those are going to look when they're all connected and everything. But yeah, a little bit more instructions here towards the end of just about like how to use some of the armaments and stuff. And then here we've got the decal guide at the very end. So there's decals for all around on the main kit and on all the accessories and everything else. And that's it for the guide. As for those decals, it is a pretty big, like full large A4 size sheet of decals, just a ton of decals on here. Looks like mostly in gold, although there is a little bit in white and black there as well. But yeah, most of the markings are going to be here in gold. For the decals, just a ton of these really nice looking gold decals there, and got some of these really large ones here as well. Some quite large decals you're going to really want to be careful with. Feels like those are going to be pretty easy to mess up if you're not careful, but there's certainly a lot of them. I don't know if there's going to be like spares of them, but hopefully there's enough that like you have a couple of extras of some of those, so just in case. Other contents inside here, then we've got all of our LED stuff in this packaged clamshell. So you can see we've got everything like kind of pre-wired. You just have to put the batteries in there. So you have some parts that are like already connected with some clear parts, with some clear green parts there as well. And this is also letting you know what size batteries and the quantity you need. So of the CR425 battery, you need 8 of them. Of the CR1632 battery, you need 3 of those. So good to know that. We've also got another baggie of a bunch of magnets here. It looks like, I think there's some springs, screws, and magnets that you're going to use in here. Getting into the runners then, just starting off with the parts for the display base. So you have this A runner here in gray, for like the connection arm, and then some other spring and screw parts there. And then our main display base here has this film on it you can peel off to give you that nice glossy finish. I'm going to leave that on there for the moment just in case, but this is going to be our main display base. Pretty simple there, but it'll have a nice gloss to that. A couple of smaller bits here. This is actually the E2 runner here in like a clear bluish green, and also this ring here, which is not on a labeled runner at least. And just to give these a test under UV light, it looks like these are not going to light up from UV light, but other clear parts I believe will. A runner here, we've got 2 of these for a bunch of white armor pieces, and the runners are grouped by color, so we'll have all our white parts here first. That's going to continue here onto the B runner as well for a few more white parts. And the last of our white parts is going to be here on runner C, but you can see this is a white runner with a little bit of blue pre-painted here on some of those bits there. Very nice. Then we got our 2 D runners for some more clear orange effect parts. Now these ones are going to light up under UV light, so you can see under my UV flashlight there, these are lighting up very brightly. So those are going to look really cool there on the kit, and very spiky too. Be careful with those. Runner E1 we have 2 of for some more parts here in clear green. Runner E1 we already saw just a moment ago, that small little circle one. Runner F we have 1 of, and then runner G we have 2 of for a bunch of parts here in a nice light gray color. Runner H is just a few parts here in medium gray, kind of a little bit darker gray color, for some joint connection parts. This runner seems like this one's maybe an ABS. Then runners I, J, and K are all going to be here in a pretty nice shade of red. It actually looks a bit more vibrant on camera. In person, it's slightly desaturated, and I kind of really like that. There's runner J and runner K, but that'll make for some really nice red accents. I'm guessing this is for one of the LED gimmicks here, this push button right there. There's also, these are numbered. You have some numbers on here, like 1, 3 on some of these parts. I'm not exactly sure at the moment what that is for, but that's interesting. Now we're into our very shiny gold plated runners here. So there's runner L, we've got 2 of, and it's a really interesting shade of plated gold. It almost has like a little bit of a greenish tinge to it. I'm not sure if you guys are able to pick that up, but it does look really nice, quite unique. We got some more of that here on runner M as well. And just to give you guys a really nice close-up look at that finish of the plated gold, it looks really nice. All right, blue is up next here for runner N. We have 2 of this N runner for a whole bunch of parts there in blue, and some more here on runner O1 and O2 there as well. Looks like a lot of weapons parts there maybe. And then from here, basically everything else is going to be all in this gray color. So here's runner P, is a quite large runner, very full. We've got 2 of those. Runner Q, a bunch more parts here in gray. Some really nice detail on all these parts. It's one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, but there is a lot of great detail here. A few smaller runners here next. Here's runner R. We've got 2 of those as well. Runner S, only 1 of there. Looks like some parts for the head or a couple of little recognizable bits. Runner T, some more mechanical parts here in gray, 2 of those. Runner U is just more of the same, and these do feel really nice and hefty too, these parts. This might be more ABS on some of these runners. Going all the way to Z here, so we got a few more left. Runner V, here's some more mechanical parts in gray, 2 of those. The same thing here for runner W. You guessed it, more mechanical parts there in gray. And our last few runners here, X, Y, and Z, are just going to be more of the same. There's runner X, runner Y is quite large one here. I think probably the largest of the runners that we've got. And then runner Z, which interestingly has some parts for the hands. So a couple of things to note just about the hands, some really nice detail on those. Also the size, they definitely look pretty small, not quite like 1/100 scale. Probably closer, if we're going to compare this to Gunpla, to like 1/44 scale, maybe slightly larger than that, around like 1/20 scale if it's compared to like Gundam model kit. So it's a little bit smaller than I was expecting. You can also see that we've got some hands that are molded onto the weapon handles. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that. If you're planning on painting like the weapon handle and the hands different colors, that means you're going to have to mask. But the nice thing that that ensures is that you'll have a nice solid grip on the weapons because the handle is actually molded together with the hand, like these ones over here as well. So that's actually kind of a nice trade-off. I like that, but what do you guys think? So all right guys, that is everything in the box for the Colada. A shame that I can't show you what the actual box art looks like. Once the kit is in, obviously I'll share some photos with you guys of what the box art looks like in full, but for now, there's a look at everything inside. Like I said, I'll be live building this kit over on the USA Gundam TV channel, so make sure you're subscribed to that channel as well to make sure that you don't miss that live stream, and then I'll be back for the review for this kit after that. It looks like it's going to be a pretty awesome kit. Not quite as big as I was expecting, which is fine, just because when you have a kit that has this much stuff on it, a lot of times all that weight is just going to make it a pain to actually pose. It's just going to be weighed down and it's going to have issues. So I actually think the size of this is going to be really quite nice, and there's just a ton of detail there and obviously a ton of parts. So I'm going to go ahead and get working on this. If you guys have any specific questions about the kit, do feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer your questions in the review video later on. But for now, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you are interested in pre-ordering this kit before it arrives, I do believe that it is still available for pre-order here at USA Gundam Stores, so you can check the link in the video description down below there to USA Gundam Store and pre-order there on the website if you're interested. It should be coming in pretty soon. Like I said, this is an early copy, but not too early. I do believe that the kit should be on the way in the near future. But as always, guys, thank you so much for your support, leaving a like on the video and making sure that you're subscribed if you're not yet subscribed already. I really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later. Bye.